The D.O.C. is here, man.
Hey,
Um, Easily, to me, one of the most important people that the rap game has seen because of his contribution to the success of rap that was coming from the West Coast region at a time when, in my opinion, corporations had us divided, whether it was through publications and headlines, East Coast versus West Coast, and the fact that the business initially was primarily in New York. Anytime you wanted to get into any of the publications, and it was important to be played in New York City, which is nothing wrong with that. It's the mecca of it, but it was different people who had different stories and wanted different representation. It ain't gonna sound like Hoochie rap.
right.
You know what I mean? And so the success of Dr. Dre, I say Dr. Dre, because he's at the nucleus of a lot of that success we saw coming out of the mid and late '80s to now, and still is.
Yeah, man.
Still,
Yeah, man.
still.
Yeah.
Now, am I with me on that one? All right.
Yeah.
And to hear the role that you played in it, and I'm sure he would agree, it wouldn't have been necessarily the same. It wouldn't have been the same without your input. And for that, all of these museums, all these stories, all these books, all these documents, all this history that they tell, if they're not mentioning your name in reverence and telling your full story, not like it's just a side clip or a footnote, your full story, like there could be a movie made about this story because of the importance your role played in this game. I appreciate you being here today and being so transparent about what was happening. We just fans. I'm not asking this stuff to put down anybody.
Right.
I just want to know what really happened.
Yo, I want you to know. You know what I mean? Like, it's important. It's important not only because the truth, the truth is so hard to find, because people don't think it's profitable or it'll make a person look a certain way. But I got to give you all of mine in order for this thing to make sense to me. Like, I couldn't have gone through all of this shit for nothing. I couldn't have went through all this shit to come and lie to you and make myself look like this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a humble kid from West Dallas, Texas. And today, I have 2 young sons, and I want them to know that their father is a good man, and he loved them, and he wants them to be great men, and at whatever they choose to do, and a beautiful daughter, Puma, with Erica. Well, I ain't worried about that one. Erica got her.
Erica's got her.
Oh,
man.
my
That's,
God.
That's such a. Erica has had a presence since the day she came into this business.
Yes,
man.
sir.
And she comes up here and we laugh the whole. She's so damn funny. I always wish there was that, and even the children, the fathers, the guys that come from our culture, that have had children with her. Do y'all get along? Do y'all communicate?
Absolutely.
Why y'all ain't did nothing? Get everybody together, man. Let's get
So
the
you want a whole?
She
that's
would
a
be
different
ultimate
problem.
goals.
What?
You know what? The one reason I would not want to go down that road is because I don't want to make the queen uncomfortable.
I understood.
You know what I mean? And she gets enough business. People are always trying to jab at her because of that, and which is unfortunate. But I'm grateful to her, and I love 3000, and I love Jay Electric. They're both super talented guys. And I would love to do records with any and all of them. Hell, I'll get on the song and be the Partridge Rappers. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me one time, was all the kids going to get together and make a super group? You know what I mean? Like, and Puma would be down. You know what I mean? She's ready right now.
She's ready?
Oh my God, she
That's
can't
dope.
wait.
It's amazing. Do you? I'm gonna get to the Eminem era. What what could anything have been done to avoid like these? There's a lot of tragedy surrounding the success of Death Row. We lost Tupac. All the stories we hear. Dr. Dre and Suge's situation. Dre's been shot. What could have been done differently? You think?
Greed and egos,
Okay.
right, were the killers of those movements.
Greed and ego.
Greed and ego, right? And it happened 3 times. And once for me in my own personal journey, ego. You know what I mean? When I got to California and I was writing these records for these dudes, I would go to the studio and drink, and I just started smoking weed and get loaded and tell these guys how much greater I am than they are, and now y'all can finally make it because I'm here, and you know I was pretty tough.
Yo,
Oh, that's funny.
you were there to save the day.
I was tough on them.
Yeah.
And for them, I think it was, you know, they didn't like that, you know, and so they probably was like, see, but and the same thing for Eric, the money, it's mine, my power and my money and my thing, and then Suge, my power, my money, my thing, and when you take your eyes off of the art, which is the most important piece of generating that money. It's the art. Somebody has to love the art enough to sacrifice of themselves. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So I chose to be that guy. Okay, if somebody got to sacrifice for it, I'll do it. Because I want us to win around here. We got to win, you know. And so
Them niggas won.
They won,
They
right?
won like a motherfucker.
But you won. You won.
yes,
Because I don't know how much money people made around
that's
that.
right. Money can't buy you
I
happiness.
have no
bro.
idea. And that money they made didn't inspire me at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the art you made that inspired me from my journey. You know, if the money, who gives a fuck? That shit comes and goes.
Sure
That's
do.
the easiest thing to make is money. Hell, that's what my uncle told me, man. You're going to always make money, but I'm broke. I guarantee you're going to make money. But what you brought to the game, to me, when people keep their integrity and they have true talent, that's what fuels this whole entire industry.
Dig
And
that.
when you possess that inside, man, you really the MVP. It ain't the executives that's giving you their platforms and all of that shit. That's the technology they could convince us to believe
Absolutely.
of all of this time. But it's really what you brought to the table is what makes you valuable. That's why Dre is still here today, and we can't wait for him to put out another album or whatever. We wait. You know, whether he's going to do it or not, we still anticipate it. When he came into the fold, Eminem, I was there from the beginning, you know, when he used to come up on our show with me and King Tech, and we won the beat in L.A., and we steadily pushed that dude out there on that big-ass syndicated show that was broadcasting globally. I hear how the story, somebody said they found a cassette in Jimmy's house or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I know we was putting him on a wake-up show, blowing him the hell up because we believed he was talented as fuck.
As hell.
As hell. You said easily one of the GOATs.
Easy. One of the greatest of all times. Like you can't even. I'm not gonna even argue with anybody when it comes to
That's not a question about it.
you know.
Where were you around that time when Dre and M first got together? Because from there, it's just been sky. Dre has been able to reach his purpose.
I was there. You know, I was there when he first came around. Dre said he was working on starting his 2001 record or about to start a record, and he said, I got something I want you to hear. And he popped in this song. It was called Just Don't Give a Fuck.
Just don't give a fuck. Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think? I was like, that motherfucker's cold-blooded. He's a little sick, but he's dope as fuck. And then he showed me the picture of the guy, and I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, this motherfucker's the one. You know, he's Neo around this motherfucker. And true to his word, Dre brought out, you know, Dre, man, that dude is he's the only person that I know that can make his music cinematic so that you as the writer can see the picture in the music and you just write the words accordingly, right? He's the only guy that I know that can do that. Other producers, they make great songs with guys in their great songs. Dre makes movies and you just write the screenplay. You know what I mean? Or at least that's how I see it. But first time I met him, we was in the studio and he was super quiet and he was sitting in the corner Dre had this beat up. I forget what song it was, and he was hovered over a piece of paper like he was at lunch in prison or some shit. He didn't want nobody to get his food, and he kept twirling the paper, right? And Dre says, "You ready?" He goes in there and he raps his song. I see him in the booth, and he's twirling the paper in the booth as he raps, and he's wagging his finger. You know, it's all. I think that's the metronome that he's using, right? And
You got to explain what that is. The metronome that he's using. For those who are listening, they may not know it. Yeah.
Well, in music, at least when I was younger in choir class and all that old kind of shit, the guy playing the drum, they use this wooden machine, and it what? Yeah, where's that coming?
That's coming from me.
Okay.
I'm making it cinematic for you. Okay. I know it'll get better.
and as a metronome, it swings back and forth, and at the tip of this point, it makes that sound, and that's how you keep your rhythm. Well, he wags his finger, and from my perspective, when I watch him do it, it's like he's keeping that time. He's keeping himself in time like that, and so. After he got through rapping, I went in the booth and saw a piece of paper. I wanted to see what the hell the guy was looking at. Yes. And it was, first of all, the words on the paper were so small, you would think the guy would need a fucking binoculars to see the shit. But he had written, can I see that pen?
Okay, there you go.
He had written the rap, and the rap was in this design.
A six?
No, it was the infinite. It was the infinite circle. It was like infinity. It kept going around and around and around. The whole rap was a design.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And it was just nuts. I was like,
yo,
this motherfucker's a genius. You know what I mean? And after that, I knew who he was. So I stood back, and then he asked me to take a picture and asked me to sign a record. And so anybody that gives you that, you have to give it back. And so I've always given that back to him tenfold because I recognize who he is. The shade of his skin is just sort of the shell.
Yeah.
The motherfucker on the inside of that shell, I see that guy.
You should tell that to Americans today. That'll go really well in this political climate. The shade of the skin is just a shell.
Right, it really is.
It really is. Do you have a relationship with Kendrick? Were you around when Kendrick started working with you?
I met Kendrick once when we were making the Compton record. He came in to do his thing, and I sat next to him at the board while he wrote, just to kind of soak up the vibe and let him know that I love him and I appreciate what he's doing, pushing the culture forward. But we never really had no drawn-out conversations, but I'm a huge supporter of his art. I think he's he's me, 20 years later in Compton. You know what I mean?
I feel like they all you.
Well,
okay. Pieces, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's all great.
Yeah.
Because
you would be for Snoop.
Yes. Well, Snoop is me.
Yeah. Because
it's a direct infusion from, tube to tube. You know what I mean? And he had to be that. He had to be that for me. He had to be that. There's no two ways about it, Snoop. You got to do it. So goddamn it, you finna do it. And Snoop really loved, like you could tell when Snoop talks about me today, that he really loved me for that, you know. And so that's my little brother, and I'm always feel the same way about him.
I feel like you got a chance to live vicariously through his success.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Because I would imagine that's why you feel like you was just on the edge of the frame because, damn, that was your path.
That's right.
Felt like being set.
A part of it.
Yeah.
A part of it. I was telling Heather that, there was something that I was supposed to be doing after that prayer because G.O.D. delivered on his. In 1989, when No One Can Do It Better came out, arguably I was the best.
Yeah.
So God said, I got you. But he said, I'm going to need you to do something. I wasn't moving fast enough on my part. You know what I mean? And so the accident happened. But the fact that I'm still here today and have the clear mind and the conscience to do the things I want to do and say the things I want to say is because I'm still on his mission. You know, I haven't done what he asked yet, so I'm not going to leave this earth till I do that.
Until you do that.
Yeah.
D.O.C, man.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
This is a big moment for me because I grew up in Louisville, Texas.
Hey.
And a friend of mine, Christian Hernandez, El Salvadorian kid, you were the first rapper I ever listened to.
Wow. That's dope.
So I don't even have a question. I just got to say thank you, man, because you were the first. Like no one does it better. Was the first tape I had, first rapper.
That's super dope. God bless that.
Yeah, man.
I feel old as shit right now.
No, man, don't, because he look old, huh? So it make you feel old.
Well, that's cold.
No, we go hard on each other too, man. Let me ask you this, because we hear a lot about a lot of folks, especially coming from this culture, that a lot of folks get so down and depressed and low that they want to take their own lives, and some folks don't make it. Did you get that low at any point?
I don't think that you could drink and do as much drugs as I was doing and that not be in your subconscious mind, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm going to get up out of here. But I'm scary, so I ain't finna cut. I ain't finna shoot. You know, I'm so far from a thug, bro. It's sick, you know, so... so let me just get high and see if I could just get so high I'll go all the way up there. At least I think, you know, the ecstasy pills and the alcohol and the, you know, the 16 shots at a time. I mean, that was my normal, bro. That was normal for me.
They were doing
89, yeah. That was,
they had ecstasy in 89?
that's what, that was the reason I had to wreck.
Ecstasy's an OG.
How did you did you just go cold turkey with the drugs? How did you get off?
I just stopped doing it. Yeah, because the drugs, like my addictive personality was to escape the depression of the accident. Like I didn't need it like other addicts needed it. I just used it to escape the reality that I was living in. You know, it wasn't that I was feeling so bad. I just wanted to rap again so bad. You know, I wanted to be on the stage again so bad. I couldn't. You know, it was tough, bro. It was real tough to have to sit. Most of the time you saw Snoopy and Dre, I was there, just on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to walk out there so bad, but wasn't my place, you know.
I was in where was I? Detroit. Maybe I feel like a year ago, or close to a year ago. I'm trying to think of what I was doing. Oh, when we did our broadcast. And
That was in July.
That was in July this
Yeah.
year.
No, that was 2016.
2016, and Warren G was performing.
Yeah.
Were you with him that night? Do you go on a roll with Warren G?
No.
You don't? Oh, okay. All right. That's just somebody said you were in the house, so I fucking scoured the whole. And I was looking at Warren like, is the D.O.C. here? And Warren didn't tell me. You know what I mean? Like, I almost felt like, man, was this some? So that wasn't you. All right, I feel good about it. Let me ask you, where are you now? Will you you and Rakim? What is it that you're gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna make a record.
Okay.
You know, sooner or later, but even that's back burner for me, right? What's most important? The people are talking about documentaries, and some have even talked about movies, and so when these things started to bubble, I started to put together an idea. Basically, that's about I would call it a lifestyle docu-series, right? Because the Defiant Ones have done the documentary to death. You're not going to be able to out-documentary that.
Alan Hughes put his foot in it.
Oh, man, he did that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm shout out to Alan Hughes. I'm very grateful to, you know, that moment that he gave my story in that thing, because from that came all of this movement that's going on right now. So, lifestyle docu-series, in the vein of the reality television, and if I could marry a documentary and reality TV into one piece of art, where you can see me in Dallas, how I try to be a great father to my children, how I try to be a great husband to my wife, and a better person in my community, and put that up against how I'm mentoring these young kids in Dallas to become better songwriters. Because even in the tag, I say that you may have a good voice, you may have all the talent in America. Hell, you may even be an idol, but without a great song, you don't have anything, right? And so I hear all the people all the talking the mum. We don't like the mumble rap and and go back to me saying I just want you to win. I wouldn't give a fuck if you stumble rap, mumble rap, bumble rap. It don't matter to me. As long if you are a person of color, even if you're not, I want you to win, right? But I always say when they ask me that question on Twitter and things like that, what do you think about I don't like that. I say, well, if you don't like it, and you are of my generation, go do a record with them. Teach them how to do it better. Give them some of our generation and mix it with their generation and see what you come up with. Could be dope. So that's what I'm doing with the kids in Dallas. I'm giving them some of I'm doing with them what I did for Snoopy.
Wow. That's coming full circle. Who are some of the guys that are of recent times that you do like, that you listen to?
I like J. Cole a lot. His honesty and his wordplay and the fact that he's such a solid person within his music. I like the kid from Detroit, Sean.
Big Sean.
Big Sean.
I like him. And
Big Sean's dope.
yeah. And of course Kendrick. The selection is kind of thin for me because I don't listen to anything. I'm not gonna go buy records. I'm just it's not where I am. But I listen to everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. If it's a great song, even the lady Cardi B's got a record out. Everybody didn't like the lady's record, but I see no difference between now. This may be sacrilegious to some people, but I don't see any difference between that record and Eazy's records, right?
Yeah.
Eazy was not the greatest rapper by any stretch of the imagination. Someone had to write these words, and you put him on top of a beat that's the beat of that moment, and you make a great song, put it out there. Same thing for the lady, right? And so her success I was happy for,
That's a beautiful, spirited person. This Cardi B. And she's earned it and deserves whatever accolade she's getting right now.
Absolutely.
She keeps it 100.
We all don't she?
She keeps it 100, boy.
We all deserve it, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody don't deserve it, right? We've been through enough shit in this world, in this game, and in life in general. We all have our obstacles to overcome. Mine may have been a little bit more in the public eye, but we all got them, man. We all deserve to win, bro.
Yeah.
It's not enough. And I was sitting with these older Caucasian women last night, and they were wealthy women, and they were explaining their idea about their political views and how separated and divided we are, and this and that. I say, look, it's really about power, control, and money. The people's skin color really has nothing to do with it. And if you got, hundreds of millions of dollars, you're not going to be able to see from the perspective of the person that doesn't have anything. You're not going to be able to see it. You can't see it.
And you're going to have to humble yourself, deprogram yourself, and go in there in an open book and put yourself in the other person's shoes.
And they don't want to do that. No, who said there's not a white person in here that would change places with me?
That was Chris Rock.
Yeah. And it's so true. They don't want that shit.
And I'm rich.
Nigga.
They ain't trying to hear that. Yeah. Man, I got to get to these callers. They'll be pissed if I didn't let them say
Show
something.
them some love, Sway.
All right. Darren from Michigan. What up,
What
D?
up, Darren?
Real quick. Go ahead, man. Darren, turn the radio down. Darren, I hear you listening, man.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Hey,
yeah.
What's going on, Dickie Doc?
What's up with you, baby?
Hey, man, I remember when you came to Flint, man. It was me, you, Bree, my brother Flint, and T-Dub, man. We went out to the restaurant to eat, And I ain't never knew you could play basketball, man, but you got some game too, though, man.
I mean, I do what I can. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but I never told nobody this story. You know how you tell somebody something, they be like, man, get out of here. But I know myself, I witnessed, I saw you with my own eyes, man. You're a cool cat, man.
Thank you so much.
And I just had a conversation yesterday with one of my buddies, just real quick, man. And he like, man, D, man, who your favorite rapper? I'm like, man, Doc, Scarface, and Pac, man. And he like, man, you got to put yourself in his shoes. So I said, but I just be me. I can't be nobody else.
Already.
That's all I can do.
Already.
Hey, but I did want to call and tell you that, though, man. I remember that, man. Hey, we went to the restaurant, man, and it was a chick I went to school with. She put the drinks on the table. And she put
Okay, D, I gave you the moment, man. We just talked about greed and ego, man. Let other people get on the phone, D.
He was excited, Sway.
No, you're a citizen, D.
Sway in the morning.
Hey, but no, honestly, it must be real special for you, Darren, to be able to talk to this man and share that. Yeah, so congratulations. You're a citizen, brother.
Sway in the morning.
All
homie.
right, Lenny and Queens. This is special for me.
Q Burrow.
Come on, man.
Yo.
What you want to say? Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, man, I discovered D.O.C. From Sean, actually, because I was watching the video that's gangsta, and I was like, yo, who is this guy behind Sean or whatever? And then I heard the original song, and then I really got into D.O.C. probably when I was younger. But yeah, man, I just respecting your movement and everything, man. I want to just ask you a question. Do you got any stories you could tell us? Because that's the thing right now. I'm trying to hear industry stories and.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to interject. Not to be rude. Hey man, we just told an hour worth of stories.
Lord Sear's supposed to be on right now. That's how many
Lord
stories.
Sear, I'm in Lord Sear's hour, man. So but if you want to share one, man, I'm not gonna stop you. But I'm gonna stop him. Rod from Charlotte, what up, man?
Go to Sway'sUniverse.com tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll be able to watch this all weekend. Rod, go ahead.
Hey, good morning to everybody there. Long time listener, first time getting through. I'm glad it's the first time with D.O.C, man. You're one of my favorite artists of all times. Little kid from North Carolina, man. You just opened up so many doors, man. It just showed that it wasn't about just the East Coast in New York, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you, brother.
I tip my hat to you, man. I'm starstruck right now, and I never get that way, but when I heard you this morning, man, I had to call in, man. I appreciate everything you ever done.
Thank you so much, brother. That shit means the world to me. Believe me, it does. It means everything.
Thanks for your call, Rod. Chef Wayne in D.C. Go ahead.
Chef, what's up?
Hey, thank you for letting me get on. Hey, Sway, I love all you guys. But I want to talk to D.O.C. right now. Hey, you are the first tape. You are the first tape I ever bought. The first tape I ever had actually was "Life Is Too Short" on one side, a Max L tape, and "We Want Easy" on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But the first tape I ever bought, I was 13 in '89. I moved from Indianapolis to D.C. The first tape I ever bought, '89. I was in D.C. I bought your tape. Hey, mind-blowing, all that whirlwind pyramid, but all that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother.
Lend me your ear, all that. Portrait of a masterpiece, all that, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, my name is Chef Wayne. I'm from D.C. Hey, man, I love your work. I'm glad you look, I don't care what you do. I'm just glad you're back.
Thank you, my God.
Thank you. Man. Let me get one more. Let's take him to Detroit. What up, Money?
Love. What up, Money?
Money, what up?
What up, though? D.O.C. and Sway in the Morning family, man. I was just calling to say, D.O.C. was one of the first albums I ever caught back in the day, man. I was like 8 or 9, man. I'm like, man, you inspired me so much, man. You know what I'm saying? You, E40, Tupac, Jay, man, y'all at the top, man. I just wanted to say what's up and just show mad love and what's up to the family up there.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
brother.
that,
God bless you for that, for real.
Hey man, we got Lord Sears, and Lord Sears been so generous. We're really into his show, but I explained to him what it was, and he kind of bowed down. I said, "Look,
Lord Sears said, thank you so much for allowing me this moment, man. Look, in my life, things there are always a series of moments for me, and this shit is huge." In my journey, bro, and it means a lot. So thank you for the time.
Oh man, I love you, bro. It's nothing. I appreciate it. The fact that you consider this a moment when this is a moment in my life too.
Word.
Hey man, let's just bask in it. Oh man, all right. Take that in, man. I'm good. Man. I told Heather I'm dropping the mic. If this man show up this morning I'm dropping the mic. I'm good.
God bless
I'm
that,
man. I'm good, man.
I can't do it without you, brother. I can't do it without
I'm here
you.
for you, man. Now, let me ask you this, because you're going to be recording with Rakim. I won't put you on the spot now because that ain't what we talked about. But will I get a chance to get a verse from D.O.C. on this show at some point?
A verse?
No.
No.
I mean, at some point.
On this show?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Not today, but I'm just saying at some point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Brother, I'm
Yeah.
so far from being done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so far from being. And look,
Amen.
I'm great. Nigga, I ain't never stopped being great.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm better now than I was then.
Okay.
Because I incorporate. I'm not a person that's going to get stuck in a lane, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to evolve my meaning, enroll in a new school, right? So when the rhythms change, which is all that happens, right? The cadence changes, mine changes too. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let you be better than me. What I'm going to do is show you that I can do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now you show me you can do what I'm doing.
I like that. The D.O.C., ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, man. And are you on social media and all that? If they want to reach you directly, how can they do it?
I'm on a Twitter.
West Coast Doc, is that
at West Coast Doc? That's me. And the Instagram thing is at CDOC. I do that for my kids because I like showing my boys off.
Okay.
And Facebook is Doc Curry. You know, and hell,
You related to Steph Curry?
no, girl.
They said basketball. Somebody said you could play
But I'm
basketball.
sure he's a Golden State fan. I'm sure he
Nah.
is.
I'm a LeBron guy, bro.
Oh, wow. Okay, interview's done. Thank you. I'm joking. I'm a LeBron guy, too.
I'm a LeBron guy.
But I'm a Golden State Warriors guy over
I'm a
Cavaliers.
LeBron guy.
Okay.
And now that D-Wade is back in cahoots with Batman, we finna see. But look, man, I'm a
They
fan.
don't want to talk about the Cavaliers.
Why not?
I'm a fan of the league so much right now,
Yeah.
especially with this football bullshit that's going on.
How you feel about the football shit?
Yo, man, it's so cold. Jerry Jones made it really hard for me to be a Dallas Cowboy fan, man. And I love them boys. You know what I mean? I want to make a record about them boys. And my whole movement is about Dallas-Fort Worth now. Everything is about Dallas for me. But Jerry, look, man, if I told you how I really felt about what that man said, it would probably vibrate that building next door over there. You know what I mean?
Tell me.
It felt like he used the N-word. It felt like he used the N-word when he said what he said. Because, I mean, you could feel how you want to feel emotional about this flag and what it represents. That just says to me that either you don't know the history of the song and the flag.
The anthem, which we talk about. If you read the entire lyrics to the anthem, and if you're a person of color, you probably, or even you don't even have to be of color.
Right. Or you don't care.
Yeah.
And that says to me that, look, this is all about money and power. And I think that's what we are now. That it's not so much about you're black and I'm white, even though that's been the game they've used. Now the game is we have, you don't. And that's the game we're going to play on you for the next 100 years. So those of us who have, that's black, white, green, purple, and gray, we're on this side.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't, you're on this side. But if you're white and don't, then you get a pass to come in and out on this side. You can't stay, but you can come and go. You know what I mean?
That's what they feeling in Puerto Rico right now. That's
is.
what they saying in Puerto Rico right now. What did Jerry Jones say?
Basically, he just laid the law down for his team. If you kneel, whatever you want, you're not playing.
Any protest that you make,
you're not playing.
To use your platform to voice your opinion about these young African American people that are getting killed at the hands of these policemen. You can't play for my team. That's what he said to me. You know what I mean? It didn't sound like you don't love the flag or you don't love the country. This is what they switched the narrative on the guy. And he said, I'm doing this for this.
Colin
and
Kaepernick,
you said, and you said, people like the president, No, that's not what you're doing it for. You're doing it because of the reason I said you're doing it. And that reason is you don't like the flag. And how ignorant are you to just bait and switch, to use people to make these white folks think that they so ignorant that they're just going to follow you because you got all this paper. But obviously it must resonate.
But that's diabolical.
Ain't it though?
That's a method.
So that dude ain't ignorant. He's far from dumb.
Yeah.
That guy's super smart, and he uses that Twitter account like the best publicist ever. And he's talking to his people. And when they say dog whistle, and people like CNN jump on him about things like that, then if you hear the dog whistle, then they hear the dog whistle. Then what you're not saying is who's whistling. Well, what does that represent? Put that person in that box. If you're going to call a spade, then call a spade a spade. Don't play the game with us as if you want us to call him the spade. You claim the whistle, so claim the spade.
Claim the spade. The D.O.C.
Damn, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I kind of egged you on.
Sway a troublemaker.
We do this all day. I can't keep saying shit. You know, I need some help. I love you, man. You whatever you need. As long as I'm in this, we in this.
Thank you, brother.
Okay,
Thank
so
you so
we in
much.
this.
Thank
This
you
is
so
yours.
much. Hey.
Anything I got other platforms, that's yours.
God bless you,
Yeah.
man.
Heather
Sister
B,
Heather.
she got you, and then Tracy is yours. You want to take her with you? No, I'm just joking. Oh, the whole team is yours.
I said married, Sway.
No, not like that. Just you could give her a job. All right.
But she's super pretty, and my name is Tracy.
Yeah,
so
that's
we
Connections,
friends.
alignment.
Man, I want to thank Lord Sear for letting us get into his time.
Thank you, Lord Sear. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. He's up next. We want to thank Marley Waters, the producer that came in for the Friday Cypher. You reach him at DJ Marley Waters. Intelligence, the young lady who came in here spitting that fire from Chicago. Job. You can reach her at Intelligence. I am Intelligence with a Z at the end instead of the T. Also, we want to thank OMB Peasy, and you can reach him at OMB_PE Easy. And signed with Sick Witted Records. And then tomorrow I'm headed to Chicago for the Dirty Little Secret Men's Conference. Louis Carr put together. A lot of us will be speaking on panels tomorrow. And today, it started today. So if you're out there in Chicago, look for it. Doc, thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you again.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.